I might leave it, honestly.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Can't get
Oh,
this.
man, did you move stuff?
No.
Who moved stuff?
I mean,
Someone
I had to
moved
test
stuff.
stuff. How did you have it? This is how
Not
you
like
have it.
this. There wasn't this big gaping hole down here.
I can't get this chair not to fall all the way back.
These chairs are horrible. I cannot wait to replace them.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to
Like I
pick our
said,
chairs,
tomorrow.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys should get like double Eames lounges and like legs up.
With the ottomans.
I was picking chairs, but Justin vetoed
I found good ones.
my chair. You picked a hammock or something.
That was a joke, dude.
You want us to be
you don't
like
want to sit in the
below
you don't want to sit
decks
in the
on
wellness hammock.
the
Come on.
USS Kate or something like that.
Hold on.
It's gonna be mutiny on the Bounty over
coconut
here
bra?
before we're done.
Let's see. I'll show you the list. Hold on.
The frames look really good.
They look
Did
awesome.
you see the frames?
I did. They were just puttying them, but they look really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect.
I'm proud of that idea. Huh?
Were they painted already?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that same color. Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
We're gonna put in that. We're gonna treat like a gallery wall.
Just
It's gonna be a
pictures of Adam.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Shirtless only. It's gonna be like a rotating thing. Albert's very excited about that, so
That
we're gonna let him
portrait
handle.
of Kramer, or no,
Of George.
Of
No,
George.
on the
The
couch.
portrait of George on the couch.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that done with Adam, and that's gonna be behind us.
That would be incredible. Let's see, is it this one or the other one?
We still have a mess of those vintage ads too.
We do. I don't know where those are anymore though.
some of them are better.
Albert probably knows.
Probably.
This is a stacked table.
I know.
I don't think we've had this many watches on a strap
True.
in a long time.
Which is nice though. I like
Well,
it.
yeah. A shortage of denim, though. We
We got some Casafagliano.
we didn't get enough denim.
These are sweet. In
Sure.
in leather.
Immediate strike.
Hold on, let's see.
Your page has been suspended.
Can we each
And
pick
like the
our color?
Java. Oh man, that'd be terrible. They gotta be the same. Come on.
What do you mean?
They gotta be the same. Actually, it would be kind of funny if we
You
each had
are
our own distinctive.
So boring, dude. Does it come
I'm
in
not
shell
so
pink?
boring.
Is that
Can I
Here,
get shell
you can
pink,
get it
please?
in red, lipstick red.
No, shell pink.
Come on, show me. That's got you written all over it.
I'm not sure how to take
Okay,
that.
here. How about peony?
Peony or penny?
It's peony. Peony. How do you pronounce that?
I can't read that from here. That is tiny.
There you go.
That's actually,
there you
that
go.
would be the color.
That's for you.
All right. All right.
But those chairs are sweet. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
Is that the same as this one?
Except they're $3,000.
I was going to say, yeah, like $6,000 just on chairs.
Yes, very similar to that. Yes, actually, it might be that chair.
It's like if we did,
We're
if we did, like,
using a $3,000 chair to put our monitor on. My God.
What are those called? I suddenly can't. It's not California. What's the name of that chair?
At least I put a
Named after a state?
No, it's a place. Barcelona.
Oh, a Barcelona
Right,
chair.
it's a
I don't
Barcelona
like
chair.
Barcelona chairs. They're not comfortable, and I don't think they're.
I mean, it's fine if you're like chilling. I wouldn't want to do it like for the show.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we spend $3,000 on each of our chairs, it's gonna be like one of those home makeover shows
Albert also
where
said
they're
that
like,
we
your
get-
budget is 10 grand, and then they spend like 8 of that on like one piece for
Exactly.
the middle, and then it's like, okay, so we have a
We're going
spool
to
for a
the
table.
we're going to the thrift store
Yeah.
now for the rest.
$3,000 chairs. I'm getting a raise.
We're sitting
No,
on the crew is sitting on milk crates.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we spent the entire
Yeah.
budget on 2 chairs.
What do you expect? Come on, get out of here.
No desk.
No desk.
You have to watch on your lap.
Yeah.
Actually, you're gonna just like hit.
David's gonna lay down.
Lay down. I was gonna say he's gonna present them on a tray while we.
Naked sushi style, yeah. Dave, we're gonna need you to go wax, buddy.
We're gonna have to do. That'd be the OnlyFans page.
Apparently, we get a massive discount from Design Within Reach, so we're looking at that.
But is it actually within reach?
Well, with a huge discount, it is, David.
Well, I think even with the discount, reach is a relative term here.
True.
It's all relative.
Yeah, like a sectional for that.
My cousin told me.
It's gonna be a sectional, but yeah, we're gonna get a nice couch, 2 chairs.
Sectional?
No, I just said we're not getting a sectional.
We're actually getting all hammocks for every seating.
Yeah.
It's actually a sleeper
Because we're gonna
sofa.
do 2 chairs and then a couch. So it'll just be like one 3-seater couch, 2 chairs with, you know, tables in between the two of them, and a coffee table in the middle. Yes, exactly, correct. 2 director's chairs and that couch.
Berets.
I mean, we actually, I'm surprised we haven't done that yet. We do an all Breguet episode, and we both are here just ripping cigs with berets on. That'd be amazing, actually.
Victorian ankles.
Just the window open.
The whole bit. Are we gonna leave that?
Yeah, why not?
It's kind of nice.
It is
It doesn't
toasty in
seem
here, and
loud.
it's not that loud, so it'll be fun.
Live stream from the roof before the summer ends.
Oh, we have not
That would be
utilized
fun.
the
I know
roof.
we haven't used the roof. We should shoot something up there, even if it's just like, I don't think this would work, obviously.
You could live stream up there.
I know we could, but
Yeah, we can, but not with a table full of.
you know what?
watches.
Honestly, like let's brainstorm things that we could shoot up there because we should use that.
For those of you sitting there watching us espouse nonsense, what should we do on the roof for a live
Yeah,
stream?
we have an amazing roof deck.
EWC pool party.
Hold on, why? EWC
Oh, we could
pool
live stream
party?
from Red Bar.
Actually, no. Let me see if I can do this.
Are we getting those jackets, by the way? We got to
Oh,
work on those
of course
jackets.
we are.
We got to work on the jackets.
What jacket?
You'll see.
Get a jacket.
No, it's not like a.
Myself,
It's
you know,
not like
the
you're
birthday
lettering.
parties, now get a jacket.
It's not like you're. It's not like you're moving up to varsity here or something. You're gonna get leather sleeves. That's not what we're talking about. Do we have people on already?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Here for the preamble.
Yeah. Hearing us just talk some
Bring
smack.
a live stream from Red Bar. From the-
I didn't think about that actually. So the event is from 6 to 8 p.m.
All we need is that. And we just
I mean, we could even do like almost like we do the quick fiver if we did like a quick live stream and walked around and showed some watches.
I think, yeah. Let's talk about that because I might have to.
set the cameras up.
I probably have to like tell people like. I don't want to just like walk in with a camera and have it being live stream it and be like, you know,
No,
in
we
people's
can't
face
just
about
bring
it.
it on
Live stream
people.
From the desk where you guys are sitting. Like one.
Like in that window or something.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. It was just loud. I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about
Yeah.
that. But we should do something with
We
that.
could
You know,
set up a little thing, do like a time lapse of the whole event. You see everyone walking around.
that'd be cool too. Yeah, have that
Like,
just
set
as
up in
like
the corner, you know,
As
just
a
as
short.
as additional
you forget about it.
B-roll.
footage. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Still wanted to do pictures like you last time. Right?
Totally. Yeah, because that was great. We have 70 people already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many can we fit?
70, 75.
So we're almost capped.
So they said, they didn't tell me what the cap was. We talked about like 65 to 75.
Yeah.
So I can always tell them we might need,
Same place as last
same place, yeah. It's gonna be great. I'm going Do Not Disturb now.
time. It's been getting really good. At first I was like, but they've been really good.
Oh, so we're
Ava?
doing it at Ava down the street, not at the Four Seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
So not the same.
well, the same place as the Red Bar event.
Oh,
That was the escapement club, and then some Red Bar people came. What do you got?
So Ava's looked like the original. just
The
front
first
back.
place, yeah. So we're gonna do the same spot,
upstairs.
but with the bar,
Yeah,
bartender's
that
food.
sounds good.
That was a
It's
great
bright in
space.
It worked
It was
really
bright.
well.
It was close, easy.
there. That's actually easier to do live stream there than at Four Seasons.
Totally.
Because
The Four Seasons was dark. It was a great space. That was fun, but yeah, this will be really good.
That was escapement.
That was escapement,
Right,
and
at
then
Four Seasons.
I thought that was
somehow Red Bar people found out about it and came. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was good.
No, we opened it up.
Did we?
We opened it up. We
Okay,
invited them
I don't
too because
remember.
we had the space there. We had
Oh, that's right. That's right.
we had a big space.
We moved it. We moved it into a bigger room. Yeah.
the
What's?
crowd's been really good. Like the same people have been coming.
Yeah.
It's been really nice.
I'm shocked at how many people have already RSVP'd for this thing. Like,
And it's all a whole good crowd of people too that show up. Like,
Yeah.
They're not like everybody's real talkative and nice.
yeah, no, and people bring cool stuff and everything, so it'll be a lot of fun. It went really well last year, so
20 seconds.
So has it been a year?
it was June of last year. It's been more than a year at this point.
Wow, no
At the
way.
Ava one, yeah. But so we did, because it's kind of crazy, because we did that, then we had the 30th anniversary party, then it was the one in December, then it was the book with all like the book launch and everything. So like
Right.
it's just kind of like all time is no meaning.
No, it really doesn't.
Time is a flat circle.
Wow.
I need a beer can to just crush and a cig.
And we're live.
Hi, Internet. How are
Hello,
you?
everybody.
Thank you again for joining us for another Horological Happy Hour. I'm Justin.
I'm Rob.
And this week, we're kind of going back to how we used to do this. We have some more that we need to do on the Rankapalooza complications, but we decided to take a little break We thought we would just talk about some watches as opposed to arguing about complications.
We got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
We got some pretty neat things in. And I as I was going through like things we had just listed and things we're just about to list, I realized there's a couple of things we've kind of never really talked about on this show. So I wanted to grab some of those brands and those pieces to showcase some of the stuff that we don't usually see. And then we did get a nice theme from a friend on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm going to look up who it was real quick. And just a quick note, you guys on Instagram, just make sure the mic levels are good because someone just said that they're a little low on that side.
So also,
we did ask, sorry, go ahead.
While you're doing that,
sure.
If you are watching on Instagram and you would like to see this in better resolution and with better sound quality, please hop on over to the European Watch Company YouTube channel where this stream is running. You can still participate. We have the comments and everything there. Come join us over there, and the quality all around is better than Instagram, just because the platform is more built for this.
Yep. So anyways, so we decided to do new stuff that came in this week, stuff that we're excited about, and then also, we asked you guys if there was anything specific, questions or whatever. And Watch Medicine over on Instagram asked us for what our favorite Patek Calatrava is. So I left my list on my desk of my favorites. I'm not going to remember, but Adam, you want to grab that for me? Just a sticky note. So we grabbed a bunch of Calatravas that we have in stock now that we can chat about. Rob and I both have some thoughts on our other favorites that we might not have, on the table, but we're happy to talk about.
Yeah.
And then as we go through, if you guys have questions, as always, throw a comment, shoot us a message, whatever it might be. We're more than happy to
David,
do a little
throw
ask
the
us
chat
anything.
on the side, because I know there's a couple of things went by.
Nope, these are all from earlier, from when we were just goofing around. So why don't we start with we want to start with some new stuff, and then we'll move into some Calatravas,
Maybe
or how do you want to do it?
Calatravas new.
Yeah, exactly.
Like break it up,
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
interesting.
So we've had a lot of really, really interesting stuff come in over the past week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And a lot more stuff actually that's being processed, that is on its way in as well. So we kind of are spoiled for choice right now. Thanks, Adam. Yeah.
Oh, look at Adam the intern.
Adam the intern who's not an intern.
As he shall now be known.
Really well paid.
Whoa, you better watch yourself, boy. All right. Note to self, Adam's being paid too much. Okay. New stuff that we're excited about. So I don't even know where to start, to be totally honest.
I'll start then.
Okay, cool. We're going to go straight for the
I'm
Patek
gonna
bling.
lead off.
I love it.
I want to lead off with something strong.
Cool.
Because this is a watch I've wanted to see for a long time. I've always liked the basis for this reference.
Agreed.
And now the fact that we actually have the real deal to me was very exciting.
This is interesting because we've actually, you and I have talked extensively about the 5960, which, clearly this is, and the different variants and the ones that we like, the ones we dislike. You, for some unknown reason, like the platinum gray dial.
I do. So
which is terrible.
I remember when that platinum gray dial first came out, it was either 07 or 08, and I remember I was still in the forums a lot back then, and I remember seeing people posting that watch who had just picked it up. It was brand new. Nobody had it. And thinking, man, I don't know why. There was something I was just taken with it right from the start. I thought it was lovely, and I still do.
And so, all right, that makes sense why it's the first one that you've kind of that you saw, experienced, whatever. But now being in it, I just find the platinum gray to be boring. I really like the white gold blue. My favorite is the steel. The steel black is my absolute favorite on the bracelet, but this is kind of the best of, clearly it's the best of both worlds.
So
but it's
this is the 5961.
Right. So platinum case with a blue dial, which is you can't get platinum with blue.
It's like, you can, but it's different too. That one, they did a very rare one, which still had the contrasting sub. This has the flat blue dial.
Right.
And then all the baguettes.
Right. So you have full baguette. Of course, we left the window open today because it's hot back here, and there is, of course, a car alarm going off. Oh, my God.
Good.
Okay, so anyways, so you get all the baguettes on the bezel, and then you get baguette indices. You have the diamond down at 6 o'clock for the platinum. And even better, the best part about Patek, gem set Pateks like this is the deployant clasp that is
Gem set.
fully baguette set. It's wild.
This is not an off-menu piece. This may still be on the website. It was on the website for sure. They also do a rose gold black with the baguettes, which I'm sure is also exceptionally hot.
Yeah.
So this was a first for Patek because it was their first automatic chronograph. And it was a chronograph with an annual calendar, which they hadn't done before. And you can see, because it's running ready, it's a flyback too. So it is a tremendously complicated watch. And it's in a beautiful case with pump pushers. And it's platinum, and it's everything. It's everything. How do you not love this?
I mean, the only thing that would make this better for me is
this.
Patek make that stainless steel bracelet out of platinum, and just like,
Oh,
I'll sell both my kidneys for that.
oh,
So
that would be beastly.
it'll be insane, right?
I was gonna save that to the end. You
Nah,
wanna go,
we got to
you
go
wanna
right for
bling
it.
to bling?
If we're gonna go Patek bling,
We're front loading.
well, not really. We have so much other
We do
incredible
have good
stuff
stuff,
here.
too.
So this actually just came in today. I purchased it from a really good client of the company. This is a 5271P. So classic Patek 5270 perpetual calendar chronograph, but with the added bling of a ton of baguette diamonds on the bezel, on the lugs, and again on the deployant clasp. So show this guy off.
This now, to me, what really starts to set this apart is when they begin to set onto the other parts of the case.
Yeah.
The 5961 is only the bezel and the deploy. This now adds them to the lugs, and then you can go up from there too to where they're even on the side of the case. But like this, with it being on the lugs and the bezel, is just, it's tremendous. You don't get them on the dial here, but I'll allow it. It's okay.
I don't even mind, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, no, you get it at 12 o'clock. There's one baguette
Oh, look at
at
that.
12. Yes.
Can you guys see that? That's a
You
bag.
might
at
have to
12.
start the
Let me
chrono.
wind it and start
It's
the
wound.
chrono.
I tested it earlier, so it should be wound.
Move that hand out of the way. This is not a flyback.
Nope.
This is the traditional. There we go. You can see
Nice.
that.
That
That's
looks
a bag.
awesome.
This is your traditional Patek King complication. This is the perpetual calendar chronograph. They always save the black dial for platinum, which makes it special. I think it is such a good look because you don't see a lot of black dial Pateks, so it's always striking to me. And then you get the beautiful in-house manual wind chronograph movement here with the column wheel. Stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, this kind of stuff is what Patek does best. And then when you add the bling to it, some people are like, oh, it's gauche. I don't like it. It's too much. But the more I've worked here, the more I've kind of taken on the sickness.
I was just going to say that before I was in the industry, before I got to handle all these kinds of pieces, I really thought that gem set watches were just too in your face, too gauche, too rapper.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
it was for like celebrities.
It was,
and...
yeah, exactly. Harmon Hersey Media telling us to pace ourselves. We got more good stuff where that came from. But again, like the more that I have handled pieces like this, especially ones from Patek with the, with diamonds, that other gem set pieces, like they're so special and they're so much more than just bling for the sake of bling. Like they're stunning. They're so beautiful. They're so finely crafted.
When you see them in person and you see the quality of the stones, you see the quality of the setting.
Mm-hmm.
I am a real noob when it comes to diamonds. I never worked jewelry. I've only ever worked watches,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have a lot of knowledge there, but I have learned to see the difference in quality and the difference in craftsmanship in terms of setting and things like that. And when you see factory Patek, factory AP, factory Rolex, the setting work and the quality of the stones, it's a very different thing. Because we have also seen some of the custom pieces that come out of New York and things like that.
Well, but even beyond those aftermarket pieces, I don't, not naming names, not throwing any shade, but we have seen some gem set pieces from other brands that aren't of the caliber or aren't manufactured at the same level as a Patek. And it's when you really spend time with it, when you really look at it, you can tell the difference. And again, like Rob, I am no expert when it comes to gems. I've never really, beyond buying my wife an engagement ring, I've very little experience in the the jewelry and the the stone, the gems world. But they're just wild. They're so incredible.
It is really a special thing.
Totally.
And it's not for everybody.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we
we're
have,
not saying
we
you
have deviant taste. We've said this many
But
times that
yes.
to get excited, we are you know, we're deep in it at this point. What's up?
Oh, what did we miss?
Whoa, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up here. So how's it
Abdul.
going? First time joining live. By the way, what are those two watches in the center, brown and blue straps? They have a very nice laying down on the mat profile. So Abdul, I'm wondering if you are asking about these two. We're gonna. Well, do you want to go to Calatravas next, Rob? I guess.
We can dig into the Calatrava thing.
Cool. Let's do that.
We should also mention, you mentioned it too, but I'm going to mention it for anybody who has just joined, that we are also kind of leaving the floor open today. So if you have questions, thoughts, comments, anything you want to add, please do throw them in the chat. We are keeping an eye on stuff. Never trust a man with a diamond ring. Come on, man. Josh? What about if it's a diamond pinky ring? Then
There
it's
you
even
go.
better.
Hell yeah.
Right? And you get a little
Now we're
of the-
talking. Okay, cool. We'll jump on to college. So
So it was
again,
like
one
these
of
guys
the
here.
other questions that we got was, what are some of Rob and I's favorite Calatravas, Patek Calatravas specifically? So we decided to grab kind of a whole range. We grabbed a bunch of Patek Calatravas, but we also grabbed Calatrava style pieces from a few other brands that, you know, we think are deserving of your attention. So go ahead and start us off, Rob.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with, I wish I had something that was like a little bit more classic, but I think this is close enough.
That's super. Yeah.
Right.
What more? I mean, I think I grabbed a 5227. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll go. Yeah, you can go to that next. That's
but
fine.
yeah. Anyway, being the purist I am, I wanted to start with a manual wind. This is a new reference from Patek. What is this?
6119G
2 or 3
from
years old now.
2 years ago, maybe? 2, 3? Yeah.
6119 in white gold with a gray dial. So Calatrava, what Calatrava originally meant was this style of case. Patek was the first manufacturer to start making a case where the mid case had the lugs and the mid case all machined out of a single block of gold.
Previously,
before that,
yeah, the lugs were soldered onto the case.
you had something like this Breguet here, where you had a round case with attached lugs after the fact. So Patek goes and they make this case, and that became known as the Calatrava case. And you started to see everybody jump on board, of course, and we saw, like, you'll see old watches where people list them as Longines Calatravas, IWC Calatravas, and it's not because it was a copy or something like that, but simply because it was using this style of case, which obviously now is very common, but at the time, in what was it, the 40s or something?
think it was the 30s, yeah.
30s or 40s. It was quite revolutionary.
But it's also, Calatrava has really, yes, you know, like you said, it was, the name was used by a lot of other brands, but it really has become synonymous with Patek time-only manual wind pieces.
And, well, and some automatics.
Some yes.
But simple watches, not complicated.
Right.
So this is a very cool modern piece. I believe this is 39 millimeters. They have a new in-house movement in this, which is something they needed to do for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It fills the whole watch. It brings the small seconds down lower in the dial. We have the return of the hobnail, which I thought was pretty fabulous. It suits the watch nicely. And we still have the Dauphine hands and the like dart-shaped hour markers. So very classic Patek. Manual wind, time only, pretty much perfect.
We have it in rose, I think, with a cream dial as well right now. That's
rose,
really
silver,
sharp. But
which,
honestly, this white gold with gray dial, I think, is my favorite variant.
and the texture's coming through nicely, at least on the monitor.
Yeah, it's
so
nice
hopefully you
graining
guys
on
can
there.
See that. Very thin, obviously being manual wind. So then, say we take a step up from there. This actually would be one of my, in terms of modern Calatravas, this would be one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I've liked this piece since I first started working here.
So you prefer this to the 6119?
Oh, yeah. Hands
Really,
down.
really. And like obviously disregard the fact that there's a Tiffany stamp on that dial, which is, you know, brings it into a totally different category. But so, okay, interesting. You are boring.
No way. This is anything but a boring
No,
watch.
dude.
I disagree. So first, look at the case. Look at this. We have this like kind of scalloping in the lugs here. We have this beautiful concave bezel that scoops up towards the crystal. There's not crown guards per se, but again, because of the scalloping and stuff, it reaches up nicely there. We have a plain solid case back. Oh, no, wait. No, we don't. It's a hinged hunter case.
You know what
back.
though? It's so
Hello, look at that. And
for
the
whatever
hinge
reason,
is so beautifully integrated.
it is
From
very
this
well
side,
done.
You have
I will
no
say.
idea. Come on.
But so
Come on.
for me personally, the 5227, like it has a real early 2000s, like 90s vibe to me. I don't know, just the kind of like sinuous lines and the kind of.
Ooh, good word.
Thank
But
you.
also boo this man.
It's just not. I don't know. And again, it's totally an aesthetic, personal opinion. But it just feels,
Can you back it out? Oh, there we
especially
go.
when you
I
put
got
it next to the 6119 or a number of
I'll
other.
do that right now, just so that everybody can see how wrong you are.
I mean, the 6119 feels so much more modern, but I also love the fact that they brought that hobnail back, so you have kind of those 80s touches, some of those other classic designs from Patek, right through the 90s, early 2000s even. But I don't know, it's just, you're not wrong. The 5227 is a nice piece, but if I had my choice, I'm going with the 6119.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah,
Calatrava.
Akil Lamba is agreeing with me that the 5227 is a bit boring.
Ah, push all, I
But
say.
so, all right.
Last thing, this is a lacquer dial.
Mm-hmm.
It's lacquer, which so you don't get that like metallic sheen on there. You get this beautiful inky black. It almost looks like liquid. It's so stunning. And I love the little dots along it when they catch the minute markers, when you catch the light and they light up. All
right, stop waxing poetic about the 5227.
I can wear this watch every day.
But so, just so I can show the people how wrong you are, you need to show, so the 5227 here, which Akil agrees with me, and I'm sure everyone else out there agrees, is slightly beautiful watch, slightly boring. We have a number of other modern Patek Calatravas on this table that are so much more interesting, in even the 6007. So
somebody mentioned...
I was going to say, so someone on Instagram actually asked us comparing 6000 to 6006, and then someone else is resplendent. Excellent word, love it.
Yep.
Someone else asked us about the 6007, giving it its due kind of. And I think, David, if you want to go to the close-up here, so here we have the 6007A, so classic stainless steel Patek Calatrava with an absolutely gorgeous dial. Look at those the luminous Arabic numerals, that central track, those interesting, the checkerboard hobnail in the center there. Like, there's so much going on with this watch, but it's so cohesive and it's so beautiful. It's just, this is simplicity done properly for me.
And this follows along in the line of the 6000, 6006, because you had a really unique case design with those watches where, compared to the kind of artistry with this case where you have all this scalloping and it's very curvaceous and there's a lot of details in this case, this has a completely different feel where it's, it's not Spartan, but it's like the lugs are kind of very flat. The bezel is more rounded. It's a much like slicker presentation.
I think the comparison there is that the focus of the 6007 is more on the dial, the hands, the details, whereas the focus on the 5227 is more on the case.
Is the case, yeah. No crown guards here. It's like dead flat on the side, dead flat on this side. The lugs are a little bit longer, so when you put this on your wrist, it has a very different presence and feel to the 5227.
But, well, I mean, it's much smaller as well. This is only, well, I mean, it is 40, but,
So Atta's saying not as cool as the 6000. I think the thing that makes the 6000 so cool is that it is a 240 movement.
Yeah, agreed.
And it has that off-center small seconds.
Well, you also get that crescent
the
outer
all around
date,
the outside.
So someone also asked about a price difference between these two,
which we'll come back to that, Matt.
A price difference between the 6007 and the 5227. It's significant. The 6007 was a commemorative piece, stainless steel Calatrava. It's in the mid 50s. The
gold ones are cheaper though.
The gold ones are cheaper.
The gold ones are almost in line.
Yes. Now. Okay. So if we are talking apples to apples, then they are almost in line, because those are usually what, mid 20s, upper 20s, and the 5227 is usually pretty solidly low to mid 20s. So
yeah,
I guess if we're comparing those two, those are pretty similar. But if you really want the blue dial, the steel, you're gonna have to pay up for that, because that is a special
piece. 600 pieces or?
I don't remember specifically. I can look right now though.
Doesn't say in the back. 2019.
Yeah, it was to commemorate the new manufacturer, I believe. 1,000 pieces. So it's actually quite a few.
They are out there. Abdul says, are these pieces new? They are scratch-free. Does EWC do complimentary polishing of all of its pieces? That's a great question. 99% of the watches on our website are used watches, and most of them we would describe as like new or used but mint. We have the luxury of getting most of our watches, really all of our watches, from our customers. So they're coming from other enthusiasts and collectors who take care of their stuff and respect what these things are. That's why most of our stuff is complete. Most of our stuff is in really good condition.
We're also super picky about what we will buy, because we're very picky about what we sell and making sure that we can fully stand behind every piece that we offer to you guys. And our whole philosophy when it comes to condition is doing as little as possible. So,
and we do have a team of absolute expert restoration folks who do work on the cases when we need to. And as Justin said, it is with the idea of preserving as much of that integrity of the watch as we can.
Why don't we let's talk about the 5226.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that.
Matt asked, would you rather have the 5326G, which is the annual calendar travel time version of the watch that Robert is going to show you in just a moment, or the 5524G, which is a pilot travel time, and the 5320G for a bit more money? Interesting. Okay, I didn't even read that question all the way through. That's a very interesting question.
Why don't you pop it over and we'll put this 5226
Would you rather have the 5326G?
David's setting up the pip. Lovely. So this is the 5226. This is another fairly new edition. I believe this is 2 years old. I think the other one's 3 years old.
Yeah, you might be right.
So we now have. Nice. Thank you, Abdul. We now have, again, an automatic Calatrava date at 3 o'clock, but this to me is like really, now we have taken this kind of uber classic thing and we've moved about as far away from it as you can get.
I mean, Patek for the past almost 5+ years now has really kind of, they create, with the 5522, correct?
24 was the first one.
Was it 24?
Yeah,
24 was first, and then they went,
later,
So anyways, they really kind of created this pilot style line, which felt very out of place at first for Patek, and then they've really worked to kind of build out the line. And this is one of the more recent additions. And
show that real quick.
They've totally won me over. Like, it makes total sense in my mind now, kind of what they do, what they're doing with this line. Like why they would make these in the first place.
This was the pilot.
That was the original pilot, correct.
Yeah. So they did the travel time first, then this was the 600-piece limited edition they did for New York. And when this came out, when the travel time version of this came out, everybody panned it and said, oh, it looks like a Zenith and it's not a Patek and blah, 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 as people love to do on the internet. But Patek knew what they were doing, and they knew how they would take this design language and then transition it into making something like this, where you have those Arabics, you have these old school syringe hands with lume in them. It's hard to see.
You have this crazy textured dial. It's gorgeous.
It's nuts, actually.
It almost has like an ombre effect to it. You can actually see it really well on the camera right now. It's like this brownish gray crackle finish that just, like, in the light, it looks different. In every different lighting, it looks slightly different. Like it's fresh, it's new. There's really not a whole else that's like it out there. And then, like we were just saying, sandpaper texture. You're right, actually. And then they introduced the 5326. The more complicated version.
Yeah. And this has hobnail.
It does.
But where is it?
Yeah. Right there in the case band.
Mid case.
It looks awesome.
The hobnail is there. And I think, like, what a cool idea. Almost like in the tradition of the Breguet coin edge, let's put the hobnail around the case band. Like, super subtle, super cool. 38. I think this is a 40.
I was going to say, I'm looking that up right now because
it's not bad, though. I have a 7-inch
I was going to
wrist,
say, I have a very small wrist, like 6.5-ish, and I usually wear 36, 35, 37 millimeter pieces. And
put that on.
Yeah, I'll throw it on. I'm just gonna look at the details real quick. It is 40 actually. Interesting.
It's not a big 40.
Even so, I would honestly, putting it on my wrist, it does not feel too large, and it wears much smaller than you might think. Let me see if I can find it. So, on my wrist, which is 6.5-ish, which is on the smaller
The
side. Like,
lugs don't come over.
no,
You're fine.
and it's very comfortable, very slim. Like, this is a great piece. It wears really well. But would I be mad if they made it in 38? No, not at all. I'd be thrilled. That'd be great.
So Mr. Paradigm, 1981. 5226 scares me how the lugs connect. Gold seems soft for that design. So if you're looking, take me back here. Thank you, David. If you're looking here, you might have noticed that the lugs have a little gap here at the case because that hobnail is continuous. It goes all the way around. And the lugs are connected to the case back. We also see this on the code 1159. That might be the reverse where the gap is in the back instead of the front. But I don't really think durability is an issue here. Unless you're exceptionally rough on your watches. I think you're fine because when you put this on, you know, and that strap is tensioning downwards like this, you're not pulling on the weak part of the lug. The weak part of the lug's on the bottom and it's following the curve of the wrist. So again, unless like something catastrophic happens, I wouldn't feel too bad. We have sold a bunch of
I was going
these.
to say, we have never, I mean, I personally, I'm not sure if you have, but I have never seen an issue with a gold Patek with this style lug having any kind of, you know, damage or issue or anything like that.
Just to show this quickly, this, similar to the 6007, this is in steel. This was when they had the Grand Exhibition in New York. They did 600 pieces for this, and I believe it was 2017.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Probably says it on the back, but I think it was that year. And they made this, it was very limited. This is the only automatic Calatrava made without a date. So in the modern era, not talking about old watches, but in the modern era, this is the only automatic watch like this they've made without a date. This, I think, is a 42.
That is larger, yes.
So this is a big watch. It still fits well.
It's
it
still
has
slim.
good proportions. The lugs aren't too bad, but it is a bigger watch. And I know a lot of guys who like this watch because of the size. I've said it with the Pilot as well. And my favorite thing to do would be to take this brown strap off.
Yeah.
We saw...
I was going to say, we had a client that had a custom strap made that was dark navy blue with like a neon green stitching, and it looked
It
awesome.
sounds absurd.
It does sound
but
ridiculous,
It
yeah.
made me look at these watches with the blue dial and the lume in a completely different way, and I was like, that is hot.
Yeah, super cool.
Thank you, David, for tuning in. We're always happy to see you every week.
Why don't we go back to some new stuff, and then we can continue on with the
then maybe
Calatravas.
we could talk about other...
Yeah, other brands of
other things that they
Calatrava
do.
style pieces.
Yeah.
What do you want to show off next from the new pile here, Rob?
I want to go to Reverso Town.
Okay, you always want to go to
I
Reverso
always
Town.
want to go to Reverso Town. We have two excellent Reversos this
Yeah,
week.
we really do actually. These are two of the best.
This is one of those, I wish I had the foresight and the ability to get into one of these back when they were $7,000, but
I mean, that ship has sailed.
c'est la vie.
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Is the Reverso 1931 Rouge. And I've always been a fan of the 31. This is the ultra slim manual wind Reverso. It was a tribute to the original.
To be honest, the 31 is the only Reverso that I think I could see myself owning and wearing.
The black dial.
Or, I mean, the black dial, yes, is my favorite. It's just so classic, so beautiful, so elegant. I love this Rouge. I like the London green that they did as well.
Yeah.
But the proportions of the 1931 case are perfect, because a lot of times Reversos for me end up being a little bit too thick, and it just feels a little bit weird on my wrist and ungainly. Exactly.
You lose the elegance.
Where
when
this
you do
is
that.
just like, it's perfect. They nailed it with this
Look at that.
piece.
I love the perlage on the back and everything. I mean, if you know me, you know I've got a thing for Reversos. I traded mine as part of the deal for my 3940.
Worth it.
But
Totally worth it.
I'll get another one.
You will.
These are so cool too because they don't say JLC.
Right.
They just say Reverso,
Yep.
which is so cool.
Yep.
This on the back, you'll see it says Edition Spéciale Rouge.
Please never try and speak French again.
Give me another one of these Cutwater margaritas. And
Still looking for a sponsorship, Cutwater. Get at us.
I might be speaking more French. This was a limited edition. It was made for a very short period of time, but they have not said how many they made.
I was going to say, it's classic JLC. There are so many funky little, like we know that they're limited because they only made them for a short period of time.
Just a little bit, Dave.
But that if you plug in one of their ridiculous reference numbers that start with Q and have like multiple punctuation, marks in them that make no sense, you can find zero information. It's so frustrating trying to do any research on anything JLC because there's no information out there. But like Rob said, like this was a super limited production piece that they've never disclosed how many pieces they made, which like
so good.
it's so JLC. It's so JLC. And then
I want it.
moving on to this guy, which is just so, from the front, from what you're showing right now, looks pretty normal. Looks like a pretty pedestrian
And you know what's
standard
funny
Reverso.
is I have a customer who got one of these brand new at retail, and obviously the show is really when we go to do the flip, but he actually, the thing he liked about it the most was the blue on the dial.
It's gorgeous.
He was like, this is the nicest kind of flat, time-only dial he's ever seen on a JLC.
It's interesting because the dial itself has like a really nice sunray, but the blue is pretty unique. Like obviously every single watch manufacturer in the world right now, makes 1 or 6 blue dialed pieces, and like this one actually is pretty unique. It's that sunray gives it like a nice shimmer. You get a lot of different kind of tones in there, but when you get it in the light, it's like a really bright light blue that's just
and it's
gorgeous.
Real dynamic. So I'm sure you're all. We have the same size.
I'll get to it. Don't worry about it. I'm watching the comments over here too.
Cool. So there's buttons on the side here, but it doesn't do anything. What's happening? And that's because the real show on this watch, as we mentioned, is on the back.
Yeah.
I mean.
And of course, like JLC didn't just give us a chrono. They gave us a skeletonized chrono. And the best part about this is that little minute counter down at 6 o'clock. It's a retrograde minute counter. So instead of having to put a subdial somewhere, they just moved the time dial up slightly and they threw just a really like creative.
You still get the time.
Yeah.
It's not just the chrono on the back. It's not like it's useless to wear it this way. You can wear it this way and still tell a person what time it is or know what time it is while you're running the chronograph.
And again, the best thing about a Reverso Duo Phase is that you get two different watches, for more than the price of one, but for essentially the price of one. And this one you get two totally different watches. Like they're just so distinct, so unique. I really love this piece. It's really special.
The strap is really good. These Casafagliano, this would be like a canvas strap.
I would put it on a different strap. I love the Casafagliano straps. The all leather ones I really like. I'm not sure what the watch industry's obsession with denim is right now. It doesn't do it for me. Patek's all in on the jorts.
It totally works though.
This does work.
So
I
much
agree.
better on this than most other
but
things.
honestly, just like a nice black strap, like classic black strap, would just look so good.
Stellar.
This one is very good quality.
This watch at retail is right around $25,000, $26,000, and I believe we are priced right around there.
I'll look.
This is a tremendous watch at that price. This is really like, I can find no fault with this. It is thicker, right? This because of the complication and the nature of the watch, if I compare the ultra thin to this, you definitely do see some difference there.
The Rouge is you get a single face with just a solid steel case back on the reverse side. And a manual wind, exactly. Yeah, so this one.
Yeah, it's a good watch for you, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like it.
That's the right watch for you, man.
You would like it.
It's
it
a good
goes
one.
with your Speedmasters.
Yeah. So just on the small wrist chronicles, Atis asked if he said he has a similar size wrist to me, 6.5 inches. Would I buy a 5101 Patek? Which, if you're not familiar, is 5100 Patek is a 10-day kind of funky stingray shaped case.
Lovely. Do we have one?
I don't think we do.
Okay. We had some hanging around for a bit, but they're gone.
Not for me. If I was going for a rectangular-esque watch, I'm getting a Reverso.
No, you're not.
Well, no, I'm not, but
You
I can't.
lie.
I do lie all the time.
If he buys a rectangular
I know,
watch, you can all put in the comments what he's going to buy.
Yeah, I won't say.
starts with
Hey,
a
don't
C.
give them hints, people. Come on. But honestly, the 5100 is not my favorite.
Because you have no taste.
Similar to the 5227. Of course, Rob likes that watch because very similar to the 5227, it has this kind of like again, like this scalloped
If
kind
you
of
say that the
nature.
5100 is a boring watch, I will
No.
throw
It's
something
it's
at you.
not boring. It's ugly. Sorry. It doesn't scream Patek to me. It's a very unique design, which I appreciate. I'm glad that it exists. It is not for me. That's all. It's an
Okay,
aesthetic
now that
choice.
Justin the politician is all finished here, the 5100 is a tremendous watch. The manta ray case is super unique. It does have
unique. It is
incredible details and sculpturing on it. It has a 10-day movement.
That is the most impressive part about that watch. The
Multiple
10-day
day
movement.
power reserves are much harder than
agree.
everybody thinks. I was talking to our watchmaker about this once when he was trying to better regulate the rate on an 8-day reverso for one of my customers. It's really difficult because a lot of these use an absolutely monster spring to get these long power reserves. And so when you wind it fully and you've got 8 days of power, there's like, you know, the force of, I don't know, a Bugatti Veyron trying to push through that escapement.
Right.
And you've got to rein that in. And then by the time you get down to like 2 or 3 days left, it's like limping along. You know, it's like barely getting through.
Well, that's the hard part is maintaining the accuracy through the length of that.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing to make a long power reserve.
Right.
It's another thing to make a long power reserve that when you get down to 24 hours, 12 hours left, it's still accurate.
It's still accurate, and it's accurate at the beginning when it wants to throw way too much power through the escapement. So it's got a 10-day power reserve. It's got a beautiful symmetrical dial. It's old school. It comes with that stupid pagoda box. I love it.
I do love the pagoda box.
I love everything about it. I would love to own that watch.
Rob,
the rose gold gray dial.
Rob loves an outdated design. All right, anyways. Instead, yeah, what's up?
A meteorite Pepsi for David.
A meteorite
I don't
Pepsi.
think we do.
I don't think we have one right now.
We actually haven't seen a meteorite Pepsi in a while now.
It's been a bit. Oh, I see. When will we see another meteorite Pepsi for sale? I need another chance to get one from the store. Keep an eye on our website. I mean, we do actually see more than our fair share of them, to be totally honest. But I don't think we have one right now. We had the white gold blue dial GMT, but not a meteorite dial.
And we
so keep an eye out.
know. We never know what is coming into this store. Because again, all of these watches are coming from customers and they're either coming in on trade or they're selling to us for whatever reason. Every day we walk in, we get packages, we get emails, we get phone calls. We never know what's coming in.
Yeah.
And that's why we get the variety and the range of things that we get, which makes it really fun for us.
Let's talk about a few more new things before we go back to the Calatravas. I want to go AP now.
Your turn. Because
we have some really special APs currently. And like I mean, obviously we're talking AP, so we're talking Royal Oak. Like what else are you talking about? But show these two off. I mean,
Let's start with this.
They're very,
and then I'll
okay, sure. Yeah,
lead into
different
that.
ends of the spectrum for sure. Rob and I have talked a lot about how two-tone needs to, like, people need to pay more attention to two-tone because there are some deals to be had there, first of all. And second of all, they look awesome. This one.
Hands pretty on this one. There we go.
There, I was going to say. All right, go to that close-up so you can show that guy off.
Also, Akil said that 5224 is awesome, but it doesn't scream Patek. And I agree with you. And that might be one of the things that makes it appealing to somebody is it doesn't look like your grandfather's Patek, which I want. I want Grandpappy's Patek.
You don't say.
But other people may not. All right, AP. Classic, retro, 80s goodness. I don't know if this is
I'm trying to
80s,
find the one so I can get the actual date.
Absolutely stellar.
Because this is such a good watch.
This would go so well with a Testarossa and a really boxy suit.
A big Giorgio Armani suit and a 512 TR.
You need like
now
a
we're
big
talking.
power knot.
Now we're talking. Give me all the shoulder pads.
So this is rose gold and
It
looks like titanium.
I can't find it in our system.
14700.
I know, but what's the number? I literally looked it up and can't find it.
54901. This is not in stock yet, but it's going to get priced very soon. Maybe tomorrow.
There it is. Hold on. Wait for it.
What's the letter?
Steel. It's an SA.
Steel.
SA. So it's
steel.
Steel and gold.
A would be yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't look yellow.
They didn't make rose back in this time.
This looks steel and rose to me in real life, and I wonder if that's just because the yellow is old and it's lovely.
This actually has is full set, which is like crazy. So box papers, yeah, I know, from '92. This is,
Look how well that fits. And again, I'm 7 1/4 for the reference point, so like pretty bang average. And like this, 36, 37?
it's 36. So that's the beauty of the Royal Oak case, is that no matter what wrist size you have, like
love it.
You could wear that and it looks totally normal. I could put it on my,
Well, you do wear a 14-7.
I do. Well, no, it's a 4100 ST. Remember?
Oh.
We had this whole discussion several weeks ago.
did.
Rob just doesn't listen to when I talk. That's okay though.
I filter the noise.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, but no, so I've been wearing mine like all summer because, you know, when it's hot out, all I want is something on a bracelet. I broke out Cartier today because I got bored of wearing my AP. But it's the perfect proportion, and
It's thin.
it's thin. But again, like, so the classic 15202 is, you know, 39 millimeter and, you know, ultra thin. This is a full 3 millimeters smaller, but on the wrist,
It's not that
you
different.
would be hard pressed to you know, be able to determine any size difference between the
And
two.
the gray dial reminds me of the old school 5402s.
Exactly.
Like it's a cool look. This is so stellar. This is, again, like that one on the strap that we have on the site currently. This is a Royal Oak I'd love to own.
Same.
It's so funky. It's so vibey.
This is really,
I
honestly,
love it.
two-tone in the best possible way. Vacheron, stick around. We have one of the best FP Journes to show off, period.
yes.
So we're going to do a big market tease right there. We're
For those
not
of you
going
who
to it
make
next.
it
For those
to
of you who
like
want to stick around.
550,
Exactly.
We have the Journe
yeah, for you.
to end all Journes.
And then another Royal Oak that, again, I just purchased from a really good client, you know, friend of EWC. This, you got to show off that dial. I'm going to pull up all the details on this guy as well, because this is just, I mean, obviously you can tell it's a flying tourbillon. It's a full titanium case
Do I have
and
to
bracelet.
pull this out one? Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do, to wind it.
You
Yes,
have to pull it out
it's
to
very
the first
funky.
position. I
yeah.
could feel that I was just freewheeling
Yeah.
there. So I'm going to wind this up because, of course, we want to see.
You got to see it do its thing.
Watch Reporter, what are you talking about? Looks very polished.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Do you mean like
The other one.
the other one? So are you saying that like it looks like it's been over polished, or that it looks very slick? I'm just curious, because when we see these older Royal Oaks, a lot of these end up looking like an absolute bar of soap. Like you lose all of the kind of contours and sharp edges here.
The dead giveaway is that edge, yeah, exactly, right there, where you see that brush finish meet the high polish. And like Rob said, these ones from the 90s, the ones from the 80s, even ones from the 2000s, especially gold ones, because the metal is soft, if someone touched this up and just didn't do it as well as it should have been done, it's very apparent. It's so easy to determine when something has been messed with. This is super crisp for a full yellow gold bezel like that, to have that. And the other thing too is that refinishing Royal Oaks is actually very difficult, because on the bezel, it has all of those screws that hold that bezel on. Those screws actually go all the way through, and that's when you look at the case back, those screws on the case back, they meet up, whatever. So you cannot properly polish the bezel of a Royal Oak without fully disassembling that case, taking that bezel off, removing all the screws, decasing the movement, everything. So it is a real undertaking to do it properly. So that's why you will see some where people have, kind of cut corners and tried to do it the easy way.
This is a very good one. This is a very, very
He's
good
saying
one.
two-tone bracelet looks too smooth.
This
but
is also a really different kind of era for AP. And these links are thinner and they have a lot more give and flex. It's like comparing an older Rolex bracelet to a newer one. This to this is really different. This has a lot more facets and angles. And I think it's just the difference in manufacturing capabilities, the differences in what somebody will produce today. Like this, I could shave with this bracelet.
it's so
like
sharp.
even just feeling it with my finger, it's really sharp. I don't think this watch was ever quite like that. And having seen a lot of these and having handled a lot of these, this is a beautiful example.
The other one, just to kind of keep that on the screen real quick, I just want to one more point about Royal Oaks, especially two-tones and vintage ones. The other dead giveaway on these is those center links in the bracelet, especially on these two-tone models where you have the gold center links. Again, to properly polish one of these, you really need to disassemble everything. Yeah, Emor, you're seeing what we're saying. those center links, if the bracelet is not done properly, yes, they end up getting warped. You know, you'll see these weird like bevels and edges where they aren't supposed to exist. This one, I guess I think we're doing a very good job of showing, but it's okay. We're not.
The
So watch
AP
reporter
logo is not worn
not
down.
worn, my friend. We
It's-
really appreciate
Yep.
you know the questions and everything, but yeah, I mean if you want to zoom in and get closer there, but anyways, there are a lot of very easy ways to determine if a Royal Oak has been improperly polished or over polished. So anyways, back
we
to
will
the
always be honest.
Yeah,
We photograph every watch at the highest possible resolution. We don't touch up or alter any of our website photographs. So like when this is up on the web, which again will be like a day or two.
yeah, it just got photoed.
When you see that, you will be looking at the watch. You'll be able to zoom in. You'll make it larger than life. You'll see things you'll never see with your naked eye.
We actually go out of our way to try and highlight any imperfections a watch
Yeah.
might have because, you know, again, the vast majority of our business, you know, yes, we do have a showroom, we do have people coming in person, but the vast majority of our business is done over the phone, over email, you know, where someone has never handled the watch in person. And the whole ethos of EWC is to make sure that we have happy clients and that we're building a relationship with you guys, whoever is buying from us, and we're building trust with all of, you know, with our clients. So we want to make sure that if anything, you're surprised at how good the watch looks in person when you get it. There have been plenty of times where we've had watches where, you know, I look at the photos on our website and I'm like, oh my God, this watch, like, what is going on? And I go and get it out of the safe and I grab it and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It looks incredible in person.
But
So
when you
anyways.
have something this size and you're looking at it this size on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
computer
yeah.
monitor, you become superhuman.
So anyways.
we are running out of time.
We are.
This
Go ahead.
is tremendous.
So Royal Oak Flying Tourbillon.
Ah!
ARP, that's hilarious. Royal Oak Flying Tourbillon, this is the 50th anniversary model, so it actually has that 50th anniversary rotor there. Full titanium case and bracelet.
It's so light. It's insane.
Super light. It is 41 mil, 10 millimeters thick, so it's, you know, bigger than, you know, your standard Royal Oak, but it is a stunner. The
Worth
dial,
every millimeter.
yeah, it really is. And you know, the dial on this guy, it's a sandblasted finish. It's a kind of a dark blue, darker than, you know, the Reverso that we had out a little while ago. But it has this really incredible texture. You get the luminous indices, luminous hands, you know, that really crisp white outer kind of railway minute track. Like, this is a monster piece.
Look at that tourbillon. It's so cool. It's so incredible. For those of you watching at home, AP without the tapisserie, with a smooth or a textured dial like this, without that tapisserie that we're used to seeing with this railroad track, what do you think? Yes, no? Do you like it? I'm curious because to me it's very striking.
Totally.
You notice it immediately. You're like, that looks different. Why? What is different? And it's that lack of tapisserie, which is such a Royal Oak thing.
They also made this piece in with that like teal dial, that teal ombre dial. That one has a tapisserie pattern on it, and I really like this one better. I think because it's more unique. The teal is very in your face. Like, say what you want about that, but I like the fact that it doesn't have that classic Royal Oak style dial. And you have this new texture that I can't think of any other modern AP or any AP for that matter that I've seen this kind of sandblasted, you know, really interestingly textured dial on it.
Hard to show without just getting reflections, but yeah, it
it's
makes
cool.
it feel really different.
It really does. It's super special, super
Okay,
unique.
somebody asked us about two of the watches on top, so I want to do those real fast.
Definitely.
Yes, it does. I agree with you, Emerson. The flat dial lets the turb really, it brings it front and center, which is cool. I want to do these two, and then our big finish.
No. He asked about the Langes. Remember the Lange and the Vacheron?
Was it these two?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so these were
Back to Calatravas.
If tapisserie is needed. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Watch Reporter came to fight.
I was gonna say.
We love you.
Watch
we
Reporter.
love you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
No, thanks for joining. We really we do really appreciate
We
it.
like the discourse.
We like the back and forth.
started this for the discourse.
Totally.
We didn't decide to do this to sell watches. We decided to do this because we wanted to connect with the collector community and be able to share on a deeper level all of the amazing
We
stuff we
also
get to see.
really just wanted another opportunity to make fun of each other, and this time on camera. So, like, thanks for
the
joining
record.
us, guys.
Keep it on the record.
Yeah, exactly.
So these were our. So you like a Calatrava, but you don't want to buy a Patek because you want to be different, which is cool. I appreciate that. This is the Vacheron Patrimony.
This is the Vacheron
Actually,
6119.
sorry. That's funny. This is actually now the Traditionnelle. It was called the Patrimony Traditionnelle. You had Patrimony Contemporain. They cleaned that up. We have it in rose with a standard silver dial. A lovely watch. I owned a variation of this watch for a while before I traded for the trapeze. This one is special because I believe this is platinum for the Japanese market. It has a lovely guilloche dial. This is 38 millimeters.
It's
It has
funny.
an
So
in-house manual wind movement.
it's the texture, and I think you showed it off. There you go. It's honestly this watch, if it just had a flat dial, flat gray dial, kind of like the rose gold with the
Which
cream,
they make.
which they make. It's a totally different watch, and I literally never give it a second glance. This one with that texture on the dial and that pattern, it transforms the watch. It's actually really interesting.
It's a lovely Vacheron. It's lovely. The only thing I don't like about these is, for me, this buckle's
tang is
always
too
been
big.
a bit much. But
Yeah.
a lot of people really like it. What do you guys think? Good? Bad? Too big? Too small? You tell me. And then the other one is one of my absolute favorite Langes. I pulled this out. I wanted to show this.
Yes,
This
loose tooth. That is the Japan edition.
This is the Langematik Big Date. This watch has been out of production for many years now. So we have basically a Saxonia style, and this would have been Saxonia family, but this was the Langematik because it is a micro rotor movement, and you have the Sax-O-Mat feature, which is when I pull this crown, that second hand stops and zeroes out. Bink. Pretty stinking cool. Button to correct the big date, luminous hands, super duper cool. How much is that VC for our friend Watch Reporter? This, I believe, is a 37 mil case. This one is rose gold. It's like the perfect proportions. Oh, is it white gold?
I'm looking.
Maybe it is
I
white gold.
don't know.
I thought it was platinum because of the black, but
You keep doing your
I've been
thing with the
wrong
Lange.
before.
I'm looking.
But I love this watch. I love the doubled markers at the quarters there. The blue steel hand on the seconds, the luminous rose gold. Like, this to me is a perfect Lange. I would buy this over a Lange 1. I think the movement is amazing. Yes.
No.
All day long.
No.
All day long.
Internet, tell Rob how wrong he is.
All day long.
You don't buy.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. So that
Yes, you do.
Lange, it is the white gold. It is the Japan edition.
Vacheron.
75 total pieces. What did I say? 75 total pieces, and it's 32.5 on our website right now. So now, FP Journe, thank you for sticking around. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for all of the interaction.
this
It's been great. We
in
were
the blister pack.
holding this one back as a special reward. This.
You all probably have guessed. If you've been on our website within the past week, you know what this
Yeah,
is.
it just went.
All right.
Thank you. Justin Raphael, Rob is wrong. Agreed.
Hey.
I'm not even paying him to say that.
Hey.
Oh, and then Mason Marco Bello.
Wait a
saying
minute.
Rob's
I
right.
can be bought. I am available. Mr. Raphael, let's talk. Let's talk. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. So this is a truly remarkable.
What the heck? All right, time
FPG.
out. Watch Reporter is here just to troll. He's saying that he can't take watch dealers seriously unless they're wearing Supreme or Balenciaga hoodies and, with a Louis Vuitton backpack. So
I think he's referring to a few people I know on YouTube.
I think so too. I think so too.
We
All right.
We could do that.
I was
We
gonna
could
say.
do that. If you want to
we
send
could.
us the merch, we'll
Hell yeah.
wear it.
Let's
We'll
do it.
Too far when
So
one day they
this
pull up with all LV.
Exactly.
Is from the
All right.
early days of FP Journe. This is from 2001. And this is a, Byron saying it's blasphemy, but I say that's my way, man. That's my way. I like
fine.
to blaspheme
Fine,
when
Rob.
I can.
You can be
So
wrong.
this is an FP Journe Tourbillon from the early days, not quite subscription, but just after.
I was gonna say this is just after
38
subscription.
millimeters, yellow gold dial, brass movement, not much to see on the back because all the show is here on the front. I love how the tourbillon is the same size as the dial.
This one is from '01, so again, really early in the production run.
You get the more metallic date disc in this one.
Yep.
About halfway through '01, he started switching to
The real white.
Yeah, the whiter dial here. This still has the old school, more metallic. It almost looks like an old Breguet. This is 38 millimeters.
Yep.
It has the open remontoire. When you get to the TN, he goes to putting a dial and a hand over this. This is pretty much the most perfect Journe you can buy.
I mean, it is
Platinum, yellow gold dial.
It is the Journe. When you think, when I personally think of Journe, when I think of, you know, pieces that Francois Paul, you know, clearly had a, you know, a hand in crafting, in making, in, you know, designing. Obviously, he's still very involved, but like, this is like the Journe, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it all goes back to.
Genesis.
This
Although
is
exactly. It's not, but
I know
it
it's
is.
not. I know
It's
yeah.
Genesis for his brand,
Correct,
maybe,
correct.
right? For his brand, even though he made like the T30 and stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah, if you want to get into pocket watches or, you know, things like that.
But this was, the prototype was this. The
Yes.
prototype was this like side-by-side turb.
Right.
This platinum yellow dial combination, like if you are a Journe person and you are looking like what is the absolute apex summit that I can buy, this is it.
I mean, these two, so these, the gold dials are, they're so imperfectly, they're so imperfectly perfect. They've all aged slightly differently. They all have different stains and marks and, you know, fading and like funky little things that make them unique.
The texture.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
all have the
That almost like crackle tremblage kind of.
I keep trying to show it, but the lights.
Just bring it up nice and close, Rob. Yeah.
Zoom it in just a hair then, because if I get up, it freaks out at me and it goes out of focus.
It's because of the black background. It's not like.
Let's see if we can kind of get in there with it. Well, we also have, just reflection on the crystal too, which is tough. But yeah, I mean, it's just so special. These are really, I mean, and again, like, so like we've said, like we get to see everything here. We see the most interesting stuff, you know. Thank you, Time Honored Tradition. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. These, whenever it's a rare occasion when we get, you know, an early tourbillon like this from Journe. We've had a handful of them, and every time, like, it's an exciting day for the, you know, for everyone in the office when, you know, when Brinks walks in with the bag and we open it up, everybody gathers around, and it's one of those watches, one of the few watches that still brings us all to kind of like it. Everybody has that same level of excitement.
It's art.
It's totally art.
Because it's unique.
Yeah.
It's different. It's history too. It's like art and history.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where if you want one of those, nothing else will slake that thirst.
No, and
There's nothing
it's
else
one of
out
the
there.
few pieces out there that lives up to the hype. You know what I mean? It deserves the hype that it gets. It deserves the attention. It deserves the praise. It deserves those high auction results, those high auction prices. It's special. If you ever get the chance to handle one, to look at one, to just like stare at it, please do. They're really it's a grail piece for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Since we're getting like reoccurring people, let them know if there's anything they want for next week to let
True.
us know. Or
So
DM.
producer David is reminding us to ask you guys, because we now have a lot of people who join us kind of on a regular basis, which, like, thank you. This is crazy. We're coming up on 1 year of doing this, which is crazy. We've had a blast doing it, like, every week. We love talking to you guys. Please, if there are things that you guys want to talk about, or things you want to see, topics you want us to discuss.
Comparisons. Are there things you want us to stack up to each other? Because we have the tremendous inventory we have. We're always happy to do things like that. And it's not something you might be able to do at your average watch shop, because you might not be able to go across brands or across categories and things like that, but we can often do that.
Yeah, so again, like, shoot us a message, you know, drop us a comment, shoot us a DM on Instagram, email us, whatever.
Yeah.
Let us know. Watch Reporter, don't worry, my friend. That Lagavulin is not going to waste. It's not really a summer drink. We're also...
It's empty.
Is it?
There's nothing in there to drink.
No. It's almost gone. It's
There's
almost
a-
gone.
there's a
like
smidge.
a sniff left.
A slooky.
We're also working really hard to try and get this Cutwater Margarita sponsorship. No, if anybody knows somebody at the company, let
you
them
have the
know that we
connection.
love them and they get us nice and loose and we have a good time with them. But really, thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, shoot us a message. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. We'll be back maybe next week. You're away?
I'm out next week,
Okay.
so that'll be up to you.
We're also in the process, which you guys know a little bit about. We're moving into a dedicated studio space, which is 1 floor below us right now. We're finishing the build out, so maybe we'll take next week to really try and nail that. But if not next week, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, do that
See
too.
you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.